Well, this is our little after-dinner program. This starts with a presentation of an award, and followed by a little bit of entertainment and some fun. As you see on the screen, this is the 2021 Dr. Paul Adams Award. Kind of an inaugural year for this award, and the Canadian Physicians for Life pleased to be introducing this brand new award as part of the conference this year. Dr. Paul Adams Award celebrates an individual who exemplifies exceptional initiative, professionalism, and generosity in the service of life. So who was Paul Adams? We put this little presentation together to tell you about this wonderful man's life. We're going to start with Michael's story. When Michael's birth mother was 17, her father sent her from Quebec City to Winnipeg to have a baby. Dr. Paul Adams was the attending physician, and when the young mother explained her situation, Dr. Paul Adams and his wife Louise offered to adopt the child, even though they had 5 children already. This is just one example of Dr. Paul Adams' broader legacy of generosity, professionalism, and initiative that we honor by granting this annual Paul Adams Award. Paul Adams was born in London, England in 1920 to his young mother, Grace. A few months later, he was transported to Winnipeg, where his father Edward, a veteran of the Canadian Expeditionary Force who fought in the trenches of France, had settled prior to the First World War. Paul grew up in humble circumstances, and after completing his BA, he enlisted in the Canadian Army. He rose to the rank of captain and finished his Army career in charge of logistics for the Canadian Army in Paris. Now, after the war, veterans' benefits allowed him to pursue a medical degree. In 1950, after the aftermath of the Great Winnipeg Flood, Paul married Louise, and they had their first of 7 children the following year. In 1952, he began practicing medicine. Soon after, the family moved to North Dakota, where he had a general practice for several years before returning to Winnipeg to pursue a specialty as an obstetrician and gynecologist. Dr. Adams was pro-life, and he founded the Manitoba Physicians for Life. He believed that being pro-life imposed a positive responsibility to support women, and he helped his wife Louise found the Pregnancy Distress Service, which continues to operate today as the Thrive Community Support Circle. And there he is there in the middle. As a teacher and mentor, Dr. Adams had a reputation of consistently providing constructive feedback and encouragement. One of his students remembers him as a man of great decorum who, even when delivering a baby in the middle of the night, would have his tie on. Demonstrating a consistent life ethic, he was the chair of the St. Ignatius Refugee Committee, where he successfully sponsored more than 40 Vietnamese refugee families. In 1978, he was elected president of the medical staff of St. Boniface Hospital, which was the center of his practice of much of his career. He continued to practice medicine into the mid-70s. He delivered countless babies in his career, and long after he retired, he would often meet people who would tell him that he had attended at their births. After his retirement, he worked as a hospice volunteer and continued to be active in the community and church. The purpose of the annual Paul Adams Award is to acknowledge and celebrate someone who demonstrates exceptional initiative, professionalism, and generosity in the service of life. We honor a person whose noble service continues the legacy of Paul Adams. Here to present the very first Paul Adams Award is the Executive Director of the Canadian Physicians for Life, Nicole Scheidel. Nicole.
So I think it's really, is this on for me or is it okay here? I can do this. It's okay, Everett. I got this. Then I can sing later. That'll drive everybody out of the room. So I think it's really important that we celebrate the heroes among us. And I don't know about you, but the year is hard, and then I come to this conference, and I get so inspired by every single one of you, and I go back, and it helps me get through the next year till the next conference. And as I've worked for CPL for the last couple of years, it has come to me that we don't really celebrate the heroes amongst us enough. So Dr. Paul Adams was an early hero of Canadian Physicians for Life. And as I read his story and we talked about creating an award, I thought it was really important that we could have an award that we gave annually to celebrate the heroes amongst us. So as we were going through and looking at this award and the elements of his life, one person kept coming into my mind over and over and over again. And I want to tell you a little bit about Dr. Leonie Herx, because every time I read like generosity, Leonie, noble service, Leonie, initiative, professionalism, Leonie, like it just came over and over again. And I would tell you, like Bill C-7 was a hard-fought fight, and I know the government thought it would be a slam dunk in 1 month. And we took it 6, 7, 8 months, and we pushed and we made lots of inroads. And maybe we didn't get the result we wanted this time, but we have set a foundation for going forward. And a huge part of that was Leonie, because of the countless hours she dedicated to that fight. And I know she does a lot of other things besides what I see, and I know lots of you as her colleagues see that too. So this is a little bit of something of what she did for us.
I've been practicing palliative medicine for 12 years. But very easily, conscience is made to be about religion, when actually it's about my professional integrity as a physician who's trained. I have 17 years of university experience, and I've accompanied thousands of people as they've journeyed through serious illness, and often through their death and bereavement, I've accompanied families. And that expertise is dismissed by this forced participation in something that I'm required to do, as opposed for me to be able to use my professional judgment and make a recommendation to my patient that I think is in their best interest. So I'm no longer allowed to have that professional integrity and be able to follow what I think as a physician is in the best interest, and to recommend, my expertise around how we can address their suffering. And so it's really prevented me from being able to have trusting relationships with many of my patients. Almost all of the patients I work with in palliative care have a reasonably foreseeable death. And so with the new law, the removal of the 10-day waiting period from time of request to receiving MAID means that my patients, almost all of them, if they were to express a desire to die, could be offered MAID or request MAID and die that day. So in essence, their worst day becomes their last day without any opportunity for healing. So without my conscience rights, I cannot do the job that I've been called to do in medicine and be a good physician for my patients.
So that's just a clip of the amazing work she did over this past year. But before you come up, we have a few people who wanted to send their video greetings.
So I have 3 words that best describe Leonie. The first, of course, is compassionate. The second is wise. And the third is warrior.
3 words that I would use to describe her: dynamo, hero, articulate, champion. Yes, I know that's 4 words.
So I think of passionate, beautiful, and good.
Adventurous, passionate, and committed to service.
It has been such an honor to meet you, Leonie, and congratulations on this very, very special award. You absolutely deserve this. You and I share a passion for seniors and the vulnerable, and your work has been absolutely a treasure. Now, I have to say, we share another passion, and that passion is a passion for shoes. And I know, Leonie, right now you are wearing a gorgeous pair of shoes that I wish I could see in person. But since I can't, I wanted to share from me and my shoes. Congratulations, have a wonderful evening tonight.
Dear Leonie, congratulations on winning the Paul Adams Award for undeniably having exceptional initiative, professionalism, and generosity in the service of life. These past few years, even though difficult in the context of a pandemic and the many struggles we have had, a great blessing has been getting to know you and to be inspired by your passion and vigor and sense of humor and love of life. From your love of designer shoes to your incredible passion and ethical stances in support and championing the cause of life. I just wish to thank you, and I stand in admiration of you, and I look forward to the years ahead in deepening our friendship, and I'm so proud of you. Thank you, Leonie.
I'm not sure if you know, but Leonie has an amazing fashion sense and love of beautiful shoes. Her Fluvog shoes are admired, well, definitely by me, but also by patients and politicians. Everywhere I've been with her, people have mentioned her shoes. And in terms of her goodness, Leonie is really able to see the needs of those around her, especially the most vulnerable. And she's able to strategically sort out solutions in a brilliant manner. And then she takes all of her passion and she channels that into action. What an amazing lady. So I was very happy to hear that she's won the Dr. Paul Adams Award for initiative, generosity, and professionalism, because Leonie is all.
Hi, Leonie. Congratulations on this well-deserved recognition by your peers. Recognition of your commitment to your profession, to making society better, and most importantly, to your patients. You bring a strong and principled voice to represent them when their voice would likely not be heard. You are an amazing role model, encouraging all of us to be the best we can be in whatever path life takes us. Enjoy your evening. Enjoy the warmth of your collegial support around you tonight. Bye, my friend.
Hi, I'm Nicole Scheidel of Canadian Physicians for Life. I can't think of a more deserving individual than Leonie to be the first recipient of the Paul Adams Award. I got to know Leonie during the advent of Bill C-7, and I was so impressed with her professionalism and the complete availability she gave to educating and equipping the wider team in fighting this battle. She wrote articles, developed briefing notes, and poured herself into this work, during which she was also working internationally, appearing before committees in Ireland, Scotland, and the UK to oppose the expansion of euthanasia, and also providing palliative care medicine in Kingston, and also teaching at the medical school, and being a mom to a busy and growing family. Leonie is such an incredible role model to always be better. This year, she decided in her spare time to work on an MBA in healthcare. She never stopped growing. Leonie's life is filled with noble service every day, and I am proud to count her as a colleague and a friend.
could have planned this. I like no idea what's going on right now.
There we go.
How did you get Susan?
I have my ways. Oh, here, sorry.
I literally don't, I'm totally like not know what to say. This is beyond amazing. And first of all, I would just like to thank my patients and families, because this is why we're all here. I think we want to make the world a better place and value life. And it's just an honor to be amongst people with shared values and who are who want to do good in the world. And so I that's really what I hope to achieve as well. And I couldn't do it without all of you and the support. And I just don't even know what to say. Honestly, I'm flabbergasted. I've never won an award in my entire life. And it's like, I do like shoes. I could win an award for shoes. These are not my best shoes, but I only had a carry-on. I could only bring 2 pairs of shoes, so it was a real problem. Anyway, that's hilarious that Tamara Jansen, she worked doggedly. Like she deserves full props and credit for the work for C7. Like she needs to be called out for the advocacy. I know she didn't get reelected, but she worked her tail off. And she was a great partner to all of us in representing life and advocating for the vulnerable and the people that would be impacted by this type of legislation. So I really want to thank her, and we'll have to make sure I send her a special thank you, and we do share a love for shoes. So, but really just thank you for all of this, because I've never been to a CPL conference before. I went online last year for my first time, and prior to about a year ago, I would say I felt very alone in this world. This promoting and valuing personhood and focusing on keeping the care of our patients and love central in our practice. And I felt quite alone in that work. And I was doing this type of work that I've been doing by myself kind of in Calgary. And so when I moved to Ontario, I got connected with this amazing network. It's very empowering, and when you're not alone, and you, like we talk about today, a community of support, we need that for each other too. So I really just thank you all. A great bow of thanks, and you've inspired me all to continue to do more things for making this world a better place, and the outcome doesn't matter. I know yesterday we talked about in our conscience meeting the long-term goals, but what matters is what we do in each moment with how we care for one another, and keeping that front and central. And we don't have to worry about the end result. We need to care about each other right now. So that's it. Thank you.